welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Blazing Food Time podcast. MCG, bringing it back for the last time in Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm moving
with with your valued guest. He's been with us since the very beginning. Yeah. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Hi, my name's Rob. I'm a Leo. Mm-hmm. I'm an alcoholic.
Mm-hmm. Welcome to the party, man.
Yeah, I like long walks on the beach and all the good stuff.
Nah, man, fuck the beach. There was one time went down to Oak Island with my family for a couple of years, and I don't know what happened, if there was like some kind of chemical spill or whatever, but dead fucking crabs kept washing up on the beach. And I walk around barefoot, all that, romantic movie bullshit. You walk around and get the tide in your feet and all that kind of stuff. Have you ever stepped on a crab before?
No, but I've been bitten by one, but I never stepped on one.
This thing, I was kind of young. I don't know. It looked like a king crab to me. It was so fucking big.
Yeah.
But that little part on the back of its shell that has a spiny fin on it, went right into my fucking foot.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. No, just no more walks on the beach, man. Turtles. I almost got stabbed by a stingray one time when I was swimming in the ocean.
Is that why you don't like Old Bay?
That is probably part of it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got stung by a stingray.
It's what's called. It gave me my phobia of Old Bay. Is getting attacked by the life of the ocean.
Yes.
They're trying to ward me off of eating them.
I've said it multiple times in this podcast and everything else that I'm actually scared of the ocean for personal reasons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But it was never. But I do have a fear of dolphins.
Really?
Yes, and a lot of people don't know that about me because we don't. It's something you just don't bring up. Oh yeah, but dolphins are fucking.
Why dolphins specifically? I would think. When I was sharks.
When I was young, I went to SeaWorld with my family. It's like the only thing I think I really did with my mom and dad. Mm-hmm. And you get to pet a dolphin, which was fine. I pet the dolphin, it was slimy, but you get to pet its tongue. And the teeth scared me because you're just like, oh, let me touch the tongue to see what it feels like. And all I thought of is like, there goes my hand, there goes my arm. So I never did it, and I ran away and cried. And then I never had to deal with it because I lived in the suburbs of Baltimore. You don't have to deal with dolphins.
And not too many dolphins in Baltimore.
Yeah, I mean, unless that's a code word for drugs, and then yes,
it's like some really good heroin, the jumping dolphin.
So I got scared of that, and then I just never. Yeah, I just fucking hate dolphins. And then people think that like, oh man, it's a dolphin. I'm gonna swim with the dolphin. It's 500 to 600 pounds for the smaller ones, and when they want to play, they're gonna pull your ass under, and they're very horny. I don't know if you know that.
I heard they're like really sexually aggressive.
Yeah, and they will fuck the shit out of you.
Yeah, that's. I'm honest. You're starting to win me over here. I'm trying to understand your fear of dolphins here.
Well, next time you see one in person,
I would be afraid I'd be swimming in the ocean sometime and you start to hear like an underwater banjo, and then it'd be like fucking Deliverance. You got a pretty mouth, boy. They drag you under.
We're mammals too. We're going down there. Oh man, so
wow, we're sidetracked already.
Oh, it's okay. It's okay. So this is going to be the part 2 of cooking. Mm-hmm. Okay. So I wanted to obviously bring you in. This is my last week here in Charlotte.
Yes.
You're in my house.
Yep.
So what do you know? I'm downstairs cooking some stuff.
Yep. As soon as I walk in, I smell fucking buffalo sauce, a little Old Bay, Probably something's burning. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's flavor, That's something I used to gross some of the girls out at deli because I told them, like, I love burned food. Burnt hot dogs, burnt pizza. You ever had, like, charred waffles with boysenberry syrup? Oh, shit,
Now, boysenberry syrup is the best syrup. I love it. I think I've had boysenberry because when we lived in Hawaii, they actually, Smucker's makes boysenberry syrup. You can only order it online, though, here in the States. But in Hawaii, you get it at every store. But I actually went to a place in South Carolina that made their own boysenberry syrup. So it was very good. I like boysenberry.
Well, like a breakfast place? Something like that?
No, I think it's like a tourist place called Sparky's. It's off of like the highway where you go and get like, I love South Carolina. I love Myrtle Beach T-shirts. And then you can get like any hot sauce, any firework place. Yeah. It's just kind of like.
That's what always used to piss me off, man. It's weird about having something of a unique name. Mm-hmm. It's such a small little fringe thing, but I've never found a single fucking piece of tourist stuff. Like a headband, a hat, a little badge or anything. Nothing's ever, like, you got your Britneys, your Rachels, your Marks and all that kind of stuff. There's no Griffins out there.
There's no Griffins.
There is not. It is a travesty. I had to custom order one of those little tourist things one time that had my actual name on it, and they misspelled it. They put a Y in there. Why do they always put a Y in Griffin? It's not. It's like I'm not a fucking like fairy tale character. Okay.
Gryffindor.
That's a nickname I picked up the short time I was in public school. It was always, this was like right after, I think it was after Harry Potter came out, but right when it was starting to get big, like the third or fourth movie. Gryffindor. That was me. Yep. Every fucking day.
I love it.
A little bit too goody two shoes for me, man.
See, this is what happens. We're trying to talk about cooking.
Yeah, we get on this random shit. That's the problem. Is neither of us have like structured minds. We just anything that comes to mind, we just fucking blurt it out.
I love it. I love it to death. So boysenberry. So you like burnt stuff? That's crazy to me because there's certain. I understand a little bit. Like I actually like. It's weird. I like cooked just cheese. Yeah. Burnt on one side and burnt on the. It's like a crispiness and then the cheese is melty in the middle. Huh. I like burnt ends and like brisket and things like that.
I wouldn't trust somebody who didn't like burnt ends.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's just I don't know. It's very besides vegans, it's really hard for me to believe that no one actually likes any kind of brisket or barbecue.
Well, I can understand it to an extent because brisket is a really fatty, really beefy piece of meat. So if you're not big into beef, like if you don't eat a whole lot of steak, you don't eat burgers all the time, I can see it kind of overpowering you a little bit. Mm-hmm. Especially since a lot of barbecue places like tend to kind of render that fat down and make it almost crispy, almost kind of like pig fat. It's a very particular flavor, and I love it to death. Mm-hmm. I'd shoot somebody for it, but I can understand why some people don't like it. That being said, like I said, you don't like burnt ends. I don't like you. I think it suggests like some sociopathic tendencies.
Well, I mean. That's how I feel being from Maryland about Old Bay.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
So I made some Old Bay wings for for the people that know. They all know they're just delicious, and I want you to try them. Now I know you know what Old Bay smells like. You deal with it on a daily.
Yes.
I don't know if you know what it tastes like. I don't know if you've like accidentally inhaled some when you were like making something or.
Well, I had a bad experience working with Old Bay one time. Just got done steaming a whole shitload of crab. I was pissed off. It was like 8:30. And I go to wash out the steamer that has like the Old Bay and the crab juice and shit in it, and it hits wrong in the hose and just splashes me full on in the face.
Probably burned like shit.
No, it was like it had cooled down some. Okay. But some of it got in my mouth, and it tasted just awful. It was probably just like combination of crab juice and hot tap water and Old Bay mixing together. So I'm gonna try these Old Bay wings. They're good. I'm gonna keep my fingers crossed.
Old Bay is obviously it's more Cajun than you think it is. I mean,
which you would think would be a point in its favor because it's like I grew up around a whole bunch of Cajun people. I still have some family that lives in Lake Charles, Louisiana. Mm-hmm. Every time we head on down there, it's shrimp etouffee and all this jambalaya, all this shit. All the classic Cajun food, spicy as hell. You won't be able to get off the toilet for days, but it tastes so good going down.
I know. I had your chili.
Yep. Why don't you fill the audience in on that one?
Okay, so my birthday was obviously a couple weeks ago in the beginning of August. So Griffen likes to cook, hence why we're doing a podcast on cooking. Right. And he was like, I'm gonna make you some chili because I was like, I haven't really had good chili in a long time. And he was like, I'm going to make you some chili. And I was like, make it hot because I love spicy food. Mm-hmm. And he was like, how hot? And I said, I want to cry. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to try.
Challenge accepted.
So he, the process, that's all on him. Mm-hmm. But I know he went online and bought these lovely peppers called the Carolina Reaper, which I just found out used to be the spiciest pepper in the world.
Really? They have something else?
They just changed it. The ghost pepper, now it's some kind of new ghost pepper. They enhanced the ghost pepper. Oh, geez. So now it's like 5 million Scoville units and above. Really? So, yeah. So why would you want that at that point? It's like, oh, dude, I'm just cocky.
Okay, so I'm kind of bringing through the process a little bit. I got these Carolina Reapers. They're dried chilies. And one of the things I love to do when I make chili is de-seed them, devein them, and like toast them in a dry skillet. It kind of deepens the flavor a little bit. And I make like a chili powder based on that. I've done this a million times with hot chilies, mild chilies, and I had ancho and guajilos to form like the chili base, and I had 2 or 3 of the Carolina Reapers for the heat. Yeah. As soon as those Reapers hit that hot pan and started smoking, I felt like I'd been pepper sprayed. I mean, my eyes started tearing up. My nose, I felt like I had to sneeze constantly. The back of my throat itched. I had to take the pan off the heat and leave the room for like 5 minutes. And that was, I think, 1.4 million Scoville is what those were rated as. So 5 million.
Yeah. You'll die.
That's unreasonable.
Yeah. It's more of like it's one of those things. like hot sauces or peppers that are that hot, or one of those like, oh, let's go to the hot play store and sign the waiver and just be that
like
guy.
A macho
yeah,
thing?
It's like a macho thing. That's what I think. But anyway, so the chili, it was good. It was delicious. It was hearty. I think you put a beer in it, which I didn't even know, but you could taste. It has definite flavor.
Right.
Now, at first, though, I was like, this isn't hot.
Right.
So I was sitting there, I was just like, okay, it's got a little kick. So I had a bowl, normal size bowl. It was just a regular plastic or paper bowl. And then I was like, I'm going to have some more. So I got some more. I'm just sitting there eating it. Started feeling a little bit on the back of my throat. And I was like, finally, maybe the first one was just not that great. Maybe I just didn't stir it up or anything.
Right.
So I was like, fuck it, I'm going to have one more bowl. So I had a third bowl. Everything was good. Now, the third bowl, towards the end of the bowl, I started sweating, and people in the break room started noticing, Rob, are you okay? I'm like red as shit.
Yeah, Dean from the deli was very concerned.
Yes. So I started drinking a quarter gallon of chocolate milk, which is probably not the best thing.
Chocolate milk. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's just more of my stomach. It cooled down my mouth, so it didn't really hit me. So the burn didn't happen too much in my mouth. You know how like you have that burn where you're like, like you're just like, it's too much. It's in the crevice of your lips, and you're just like, oh. This went down the hole and burned from...
Almost like a whiskey burn.
Yes, from my chest down. But then I went back to the department. I worked in the meat department, and we have like freezers that are -2 degrees, and I just stood in there for like 5-10 minutes and just kind of like, I'm just going to hang out in here.
Yeah, it's like I told you at the time, when you came back from lunch, your face was so red. It looked like you'd fallen asleep under a tanning bed. I mean, I was scared. You looked bad, man.
Yeah. I started feeling a little sick, too, because I guess the combination of the milk, you got the beer and the chili itself, and then the hot peppers and all this. It was just not curdling. It was just not feeling good.
It was bad.
But eventually went away. I will say this. The aftermath wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I mean, obviously I had diarrhea, and but it wasn't like, like I was going to bleed or anything. I think it could have been hotter.
Yeah.
But I'm glad you didn't make it hotter because it was actually enjoyable.
Right.
I had more a couple days after that. Mm-hmm. Now it's probably still in there, but
that's the thing. After you left, Jean opened up the fridge after you left the job, you were gone. She said, "Oh, what's this?" and pulled it out, and there was still a respectable bit in there, but somebody had been eating off of it.
Yeah.
It's like, that's been in there for 10 fucking days. Who's still eating the chili?
Well, it's probably hotter now. It's probably like...
it's fermented. It's gotten stronger.
But I had a couple more. I had at least probably 3 more bowls, and then that was probably about it. I just, it hit me. It hit me late. And it was good. I wanted it to be enjoyable for me to actually eat, but I wanted it to be like an inside burn. I think I was hallucinating at one point because it was so fucking hot inside of me. My core temperature was great, so...
That's the thing. I'm glad, because traditionally the recipe called to use both fresh jalapeno and habanero. Mm-hmm. I got rid of both of those. I'm thinking the Reaper's going to be in there. There's a little cayenne in there. It's going to be hot. I'm glad I did, because that would have been too much. Just put it in
Sean never tried it. We have a boss that he's cocky and he thinks that he likes hot stuff, and I wanted him to try it, but he didn't. He was scared.
It was probably for the best.
Yeah, I think he was scared. Because he knows the Carolina Reaper.
Yeah.
So, I don't remember the first podcast we did about cooking part 1. Did I ever ask you what your favorite food was of all time?
Yeah, you asked me basically what if you could have anything in the world.
Oh yes, that's right. Your last dish, your favorite dish in the world. Okay, you did tell me that. Which is?
Yeah, my father's baked rigatoni.
Yes, you did tell me that.
Yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite dish to cook?
Favorite dish to cook would probably be either that chili we talked about or beef bolognese. Okay. I love really, really complex dishes that take you all day to work on.
Yeah.
Because to me, that's just the ultimate just calming activity. Mm-hmm. Just sit in front of a stove. Just start, doing shit. Get 5 pans dirty. You got to clean them all. You're like, son of a bitch. You start drinking, and then you're tipsy or maybe even a little bit drunk. You're still cooking, still adding a little splash of whiskey to the thing. That's when you make some of your best stuff. I think cooking while under the influence of something is incredibly fun, and it makes some really good food.
Well, I think because everybody can cook, even if they don't know how to cook. Everyone has the ability to attempt to cook,
right?
And I think, and then it's very enticing to people that you can, no matter what you add, it's just trial and error.
Right.
You can add every time I cook, I use spices. Now, Kristen she, she grew up, her mom never used anything but salt and pepper. That was it. And, and I'm like, man, so I entered her life, and I'm showing her like garlic powder, basil, you got,
oregano,
onion
thyme.
powder, regular, thyme. So I'm showing her stuff because my grandmother, had to feed an Italian man every day. So I learned how to cook because of that. But I think, with what you're saying, I agree 100%. I feel like it's some, I don't know, when you.
Well, I think it's because it gives you confidence.
Yeah.
You're not worried about fucking up the dish because you're on top of the world. You're really great.
Yeah.
I think my favorite moment from cooking was right after I got introduced to smoking weed. Yeah. I was high as hell. I was so fucking baked. I was stumbling around the house almost like I was drunk, and I said, I want to cook something. So I told the one sober guy who was there, keep me away from knives and fire. Yeah. He did not do a good job because I butterflied a chicken breast with a sharp-ass knife. How I didn't cut off my hand, I don't know.
Yeah.
And, got some ground beef together. I got a couple pans going.
I'm top-heavy, so I'm hot. I'm going to turn off.
Okay. That's probably a good idea. Yeah. Well, I thought this was the whole Frost Nixon thing. You're trying to get me sweating, get me nervous.
Oh, no.
So you could pry some answers out of me.
No. I keep my house at 68 degrees because to me, 68 is the perfect temperature for the human body. Because we're already 98 some degrees inside of us. So
I like keeping things really, really cool because it's like, dude, put a fucking jacket on. If you're too cold, put a fucking jacket on.
And the meat department is like 52 degrees
all year round. Yeah.
But no, so like it's when you're messed up, when you're drunk. I've cooked some good things. I've burned some bad things. I just think cooking is one of those. It's something. It's like religious. I don't know how to explain it. But
it is a very euphoric experience.
Yes, it's and then for the people that don't really know how to cook and everything, you're missing out. Just go try something.
My advice to those people is just start simple, man. Just get like a packet of fucking cookie dough. Mm-hmm. Bake some fucking cookies. Yeah. They're going to taste better than the ones you buy in a box.
Yeah.
They're going to be super easy. Add like a fucking egg and a little thing of milk. Yeah. And that's it. And, just move from there and then go for something.
I'll go eggs. Eggs would be the first thing. I always, when I first learned how to cook, my grandmother, the first thing she taught me was scrambled eggs. And then it took me a long time to flip.
There's a couple of things. I still don't have flipping completely down. Like there's sometimes I can do it like a perfect little fucking chef, just keep it moving. And then so the times where I go to flip it and half the shit just goes flying everywhere. Looks like I fired a shotgun and chicken at the wall.
Yeah. But I think professional cooks probably may have those days where they fuck up like that.
Definitely. So. I mean, I think they definitely don't show you that shit on TV. Mm-hmm. But man, everybody screws up. Like, I've been cutting steaks every day, every 5 days out of the week, for going on 2 years now. And there's still times where it's like, oh, shit, that looks like a doorstop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
knife gets away from you. And
we have veterans that work for us, and I've seen some shit that they cut, and I'm just like, no names, but I've seen some things. I'm not saying that, you or I are great, but
we're competent.
Yeah, and, that's one of the things I loved about. I think what drove me to work in the meat department. Mm-hmm. I'm 32. I changed careers. I've been doing one thing my whole life, and now I'm changing something else. But what drove me to it is not because I'm sick and I love blood, which is true.
Yeah, but I mean, it's a fringe benefit.
Yeah,
but
it's just I cut a piece of meat once, and I saw it, and I was like, it's beautiful. Like I fell in love with that piece of meat,
right?
And that's how I knew that. I like it. Now, fucking customers, fucking hate the customers. Yeah. I don't want to deal with people. If it was closed off, oh my God, I'd be the best employee in the world.
If it was just like a fucking conveyor belt, they sent down a piece of meat, you cut it, you put it on the belt, it goes off somewhere else. That would be the best job. You don't got to deal with anybody. Mm-hmm. You don't even have to talk to anybody. You just sit there, you put on some weird ass music, people get scared, you just start cutting.
You look like an Alan Thicke kind of guy.
I have no idea who that is.
No, Robin Thicke. Oh, Robin. No, is Alan Thicke the father? Yeah, Alan Thicke's the father. Robin Thicke. Oh, I'll show you after this podcast.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
you got me confused there. But let's try to reel it back in here.
No, but I enjoy doing that. I enjoyed the whole process. I enjoyed the cutting it. Mm-hmm. I obviously enjoyed cooking. I'm testing things. Like right now, like I love wings. Mm-hmm. So I've been on this diet for a while. I've been kind of sticking to it. I messed up a couple times, but wings are probably the best thing for you on this diet.
Right.
So I love, garlic parmesan. That's one of my favorites for wings. Mm-hmm. But I wanted to cook you some good stuff, so hopefully you like it.
I can't wait, man.
I made my wife some fried eggplant, but we don't use batter here, so we use cheese, Parmesan cheese. It's literally Parmesan cheese with an egg holding it together, and
that's not a bad idea.
And then we fried it, so now you get the crunchiness and saltiness of the Parmesan cheese on top of the.
Shit, that actually sounds pretty good. So, I'm not gonna lie, and I usually hate eggplant, but that sounds nice.
I won't eat it. I'm not a huge fan of eggplant. So, yeah. But so do you watch TV shows for cooking?
More? There's a couple of YouTube channels that I started out with, and I'll look up recipes and I'll try it out. The big thing, what really kickstarted me off for cooking was taking a recipe that's written down, and saying, I think this could be better. And you experiment, you try different shit, you probably fuck it up once or twice, but then you get the idea. And there's some recipes now I do just entirely by, I don't really do measurements. It's like I shake some on there, hey, that looks like enough. Yeah. It'll probably be fine. Worst comes to worst, just add some more salt.
Well, I think I learned, because the people that I cook for, my family, they're not huge on salt.
Right.
Or pepper. Now, I'm a huge pepper guy. I love pepper. I love pepper more than salt, but salt does give flavor. So what I normally do is I'll cook it with the seasonings I normally do, but I won't add salt. I let them add their own salt at the end. Now, I understand that's kind of...
Well, meat, you really need salt on there in the beginning to form that crust.
But unfortunately, we don't eat too much red meat around here. I was just telling her a couple days ago, because I bought those steaks when I was at work, and I was going to get some ribeyes, but it's like... I don't know. I've always been a chicken guy. Mm-hmm. I like white fish.
Yeah,
it's probably the easiest because and I actually I love Old Bay on my fish. But if I had to choose another seasoning, it'd be lemon pepper. Lemon pepper is amazing.
Of course, because you're from Baltimore.
What? How is that lemon pepper?
Oh, wait a minute. No, Georgia. Excuse me. Sorry, Georgia. Didn't want to steal your thunder there, but. So, I mean, lemon pepper's all right. It's just, I think it's the most overrated spice in the fucking world, and I will fight anyone who says otherwise.
It's good. I've recently just developed a love for it. I love garlic, so I've always did garlic and butter for asparagus and things like that. So, that's why I'm trying this garlic.
Garlic what now?
I just made it. It's garlic butter and buffalo sauce. So the other wings I made downstairs that you're going to try is a garlic buffalo sauce.
I'm intrigued.
So it just kind of gives it a little more kick. I just want to make sure you're not a vampire for one.
Okay, yeah.
So that's probably...
Because I am pale enough to be a vampire for sure. But, I mean, I'll definitely give it a try. I love garlic. I love buffalo sauce, like chicken wings. So fingers crossed, man. I think it's going to be pretty good.
Worst case scenario, I got a container of barbecue sauce in the damn refrigerator, so you can just more than well.
Yeah, there you go. Just dip it like it's ketchup.
One of the things I've been wanting to dine to know, and actually someone asked me who listened to the last podcast, asked me this. They wanted me to ask you, are you ever going to become a chef? Are you ever going to do anything that involves cooking? Because obviously you cut meat, which is kind of, you can work at a restaurant and just cut meat, because they hire good meat cutters.
There are steakhouses that do that kind of thing. I've been getting that question a lot recently, because as Rob can attest, whenever somebody they give me the slightest little hint of, I want to know how to cook something, I break out this fucking almanac and just say, well... You won't get that pan ripping hot.
But you might not like customers too much, but they love that shit. They eat it up. Because I've taken your. I didn't say get that pan real hot, but I've actually gone in detail on how to cook certain things. Mm-hmm. More seafood, because I grew up more with seafood.
Right.
But I've gone in detail, so they love it.
Yeah. That's the thing. I don't hate customers. I like talking with people, but it's the business relationship that kills me. It's like, you got that script you got to stick to. I'm trying to speed it up because, man, I got all this shit to do. It's just very stressful. But I'm getting off topic here. To get back to that question before it gets buried again. Honestly, probably not. As much as I love cooking and I love having it as a part of my life, I cook pretty much every day. I've been cooking for my family since I was young. Doing it for a living and, being beholden to people who have... this is going to sound really fucking arrogant, but beholden to people who have different tastes than me, it kills me.
No, that's fine. Like your criticisms, critics and stuff. Is that what you're talking about, or?
I don't even mind necessarily criticism, but there's two ways to go about it. Either you know what you're talking about, and then you can be an arrogant dick if you want. You know, it's free country. But when people combine arrogance with ignorance, it drives me up a fucking wall. It's like I get this every now and again. You know, somebody will come in and ask for something, and it's like that's literally impossible. It doesn't come on a cow.
Yeah.
And they'll keep arguing with me. You know, I know you have this. I know you have this. You just don't want to cut it or something like that. It literally doesn't fucking exist. It drives me crazy. It's like, dude, I'm here to help. I want to help you.
Yeah.
Let me help you. Be modest and say, look, man, I don't know shit about this. Can you help me out? And I will walk to the ends of the fucking earth, man. I'll punch Bin Laden in the fucking face for you.
Yeah.
If that's what you want to do. But it's about how you do things. And have you ever seen Chef?
The movie?
Yes.
One of my favorite movies.
Fantastic movie. But
it makes you want to open a food truck.
But that opening scene when he first leaves the restaurant, that is why I don't want to get into culinary. Okay. Because he busts his ass to make this molten chocolate lava cake.
Yeah.
And it's fucking perfect. You know, he gets a frozen ganache.
Yeah.
So that way it melts, it's nice and molten. And the guy tries it, he says, I'm not going to eat that, it's raw. Arrogance with ignorance.
Yeah, he doesn't know that that's how the lava cakes are on the inside. They're more raw. Yeah. Because it's a lava. It's fucking.
That's what I'm saying. I love cooking for family and friends and stuff like that because there's no pressure.
Have you ever thought, so obviously you have a personality.
Right.
Have you ever thought about just recording you cooking? Just one time. I want you, I'm going to challenge you whenever, you don't have to do it anytime soon.
Oh boy.
One time, I just want you to, when you're like, okay, I'm going to cook a nice dish, clean up around you, obviously in the kitchen, just make sure there's nothing, no drug promote, none of that bongs and,
get
dead
the vibrator
bodies.
off the countertop. Yeah.
Clean up around you. Put like a cell phone or something. Just you have an Android phone nowadays.
Right.
Cell phone cameras are better than anything.
Yeah.
Just put it at an angle where it sees you and the cook, and just cook it. Just cook. You don't even have to talk really. Just kind of cook. I mean, naturally, you're probably going to want to talk. Because you're like, so this is what I'm doing. I'm putting this in there.
Yeah.
But I feel like in today's world, I watch a lot of Food Network. And don't get me wrong, it's great. I mean, I get it. It actually, since I love cooking, it motivates me like, man, I want to start a business so bad in cooking. I want to so bad.
Right.
But I feel like the online, people just don't tap into the online too much. Now, there are YouTube channels that are cooking. There's cooking with weed. There's cooking stuff that's on Pinterest. There's this guy, he literally, that's all he does is like, I see something on Pinterest. It looks amazing. Let me see if I can make it at home. And he always fails. Because it never looks like what it does online. Every time you see something, it's like, oh, like if you would ask me right now, can you do a crown roast? I kind of know how to do it. But it's not going to look like that fucking picture you saw in the magazine. But I think you should try it. You should just record yourself.
I've honestly wanted to do that specifically because we work with somebody who just recently started a juicing diet. No meat, no sweets, nothing like that. It's Lindsay. Yeah. So I love to torture her. I send her pictures of like the cakes and the shit I'm working on.
She was fighting somebody. Go on.
Oh, she's fighting somebody?
Yeah, and then we'll talk about it later.
Okay.
She started,
I take these little artistic pictures and shit of like, making fucking Boston cream pie and, steak and potatoes and all.
Well, you know what you could do for the first step? Instead of doing like an actual video, get an Instagram.
Oh, boy. That's actually not a bad idea because everybody and their fucking mother has an Instagram.
You don't even have to put it under your name. It could just be like, Chef Griff. It's one of those things. And just post. Don't post the process. Start out by posting just the pictures.
Just the result.
And then maybe do because you can do 5-second video of you pouring in some stuff like that. And then, slowly actually show the process. And if you get more followers than a regular, like me, I'm famous and all.
Don't worry, buddy, I'll give you a plug.
Yeah. You should, but no, after a while, because then that will expose you to people. People actually might comment like, hey, how did you do this? Because I post pictures of keto stuff that I make. Right. And underneath they're like, how is that? Yeah. How is a crustless pizza? You have no crust on the pizza? How is that? And they'll ask me how it is and how I made it. And then you'll be helping people that way. And I feel like that will push you into...
Honestly, I've been considering something like that for a little while.
It's easy.
There's just one hurdle to get over. And you already know what it is. I have extreme fucking anxiety.
I know you do.
Yeah, it's really bad. I hate talking to new people. It's like, and even people that I've known for months and months, that Harris Teeter, people we work with, employees and stuff, just initiating conversations is really, really tough. Well, it's like, it's so much easier if they just talk to me first. It's like, come on, say something. Come on, give me an opening. Give me something I can work with here.
So you and Paul must be like...
No, I just...
Anyway,
no, we just... it's...
I got you.
Something... It's a matter of...
Well, yeah,
getting over that initial hurdle.
Yeah,
because I would love something like that. I love to.
Well, you don't have to talk to people on that. Right. If I post something on Instagram, someone comments on it, I don't have to fucking say shit. I can hit a heart next to it and say I like it.
Yeah,
but I don't have to respond back to their thing.
No, I'm not talking about talking to like people on the over text. I'm fine. I got no problem with that. It's specifically like talking in front of a camera, putting on this personality and all this kind of stuff, and trying to be funny, and it's God, that wasn't funny, and stuff like that. This kind of the self-criticism.
Yes.
I think
because you'll have to edit it and listen to yourself.
Yes.
I don't listen to any of my podcasts because I'm so scared.
That's why I still haven't listened to the one we did together.
It's okay. You don't have to.
Because it's like, okay, I know what I said.
I just put it up Monday, so people are finally starting to really come around to it and listen to it. Obviously, they'll be able to listen to it a little bit more once it's off of. It's always going to be on YouTube,
right?
But I think we're gonna start putting them on Spotify, Google Play, and all that
go
stuff.
For it, man.
But I think you have a presence, and I think it'd be great. I definitely just say do the Instagram. Just do the Instagram.
I will definitely. I tell you what, I'll tell you now. I will make the Instagram.
Okay, I'll follow you.
I'll let you know what it is and all that kind of stuff. And I'll just start. I'll post pictures of shit.
That's it.
I might move up to videos one day if I ever get past this mountain of mine I have to climb. But I definitely will do the pictures because I love photography. I love food, and I love introducing people to the joy of cooking.
Yeah.
It's like every time I see somebody pick out some frozen piece of shit like Stouffer's dinner, it hurts me a little bit. It's like, because you can make this, it's so simple. Just don't be afraid, man. Every time I go to, like mac and cheese, it's just one specific thing that I want to bitch about for a minute. Every single time I go to a new restaurant, I always try out mac and cheese. I don't know if I'm a masochist, what the deal is, but it's all just some garbage, some Velveeta they pour over overcooked noodles and put it in a bag.
Velveeta is probably if you're going to go with any box mac and cheese, it's probably the best.
It is. It is probably the best.
Because it's liquid gold. You ever seen those commercials?
Yeah.
Liquid gold.
It is real good stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But, they put it in this little fancy glass bowl, and it's just this garbage-looking, garbage-tasting, plastic shit.
No, I got you.
And real, honest-to-God, homemade mac and cheese. You start out with a brown roux, and you build your cheese sauce, and you get, some real good noodles. Your breadcrumb topping, a little bacon in there.
Mm.
Holy shit, dude. That is, miles ahead. It is probably one of my top comfort foods in the world.
It's hearty. It's a good dish.
And you can change it up so many ways. You can add chopped chicken. You can throw some jalapenos, some lobster in there.
Well, it's funny you say this because recently I made something. It started out like a roux. I got butter. I had some almond flour. Mm-hmm. And then, I put some heavy whipping cream. And then I put some 3 different types of cheeses. So it's like I'm making my cheese sauce. But it wasn't for mac and cheese. It was for broccoli, chicken, and bacon. Mm-hmm. And instead of me making an Alfredo, I decided to go the route making myself a cheesier, a mild cheddar cheese kind of thing.
Right.
And it was delicious. So I understand. I've had some good macaroni and cheese. I think macaroni and cheese is just every kid grew up eating macaroni and cheese.
Definitely.
So that is a comfort food. And I agree with you 100%. Now I'm going to tell you this. Mm-hmm. Don't get upset.
Okay.
Here, you sitting down?
I'm going to brace myself.
Okay. I love ketchup in my macaroni and cheese.
That's weird, but I don't judge you for it.
Well, I'm glad you don't judge. People judge me. Now, I don't like a lot of ketchup, but for some reason, it's the tomato with cheese is just one of my I like ketchup on my pizza.
That's the thing. I've had a cheeseburger pizza before where it's ketchup and mustard instead of tomato sauce with the cheese and stuff. It's actually really good.
Yeah.
You put some ground beef on there, get a little mozzarella, a little cheddar, and boom, throw it on a little thin pizza crust, and you're good. It's great. So I don't judge you at all for that, man. I think people are a little bit too judgmental with food. You know, I give you shit about Old Bay all the time, you know, just pulling your leg and all that.
Well, when you're going to love these fucking wings, I'm telling you.
I'm looking forward to it, man. They better be the best damn wings I ever put in my mouth. But, you know, that's something else you've probably dealt with as well working in the meat department. People have this irrational hatred of people who eat well-done steak.